Let's just get this in. Well, hi there. My name is JJ and this is Coffee Break with JJ. Get your coffee? Let's go. I hope you're having a good week so far. A slightly tumultuous week, but hey, this is Ghana. Every week, new drama, right? Well, today we're chatting about something which is heartbreaking, heart-wrenching, but infinitely important, and something we all have to take and pay very special attention to because it affects each of us. I needed that sip. So, for context, yesterday I was listening to the City Midday News and they mentioned that there was a gentleman who murdered his 22-year-old girlfriend, and they tried to find him, tried to arrest him. They couldn't find him, but they think they have found his remains and they suspect that he committed suicide. Okay. This year, we have had how many cases of femicide so far? We've had the Kumasi sergeant or commander who murdered his mistress. We've had the man who murdered his ex-wife at Nungua. We've had the man who stoned his former partner to death with a cement block. He took a cement block. Women are dying. You know what? Let me not even phrase it like that. Women are being murdered by the men closest to them. And we are seeing and hearing more and more of such cases. In the year 2020, we had 123 murders of women by their partners in the first quarter of the year. In the first quarter of 2021, that number shot up to 144. 144. And those are the reported cases. And yet, we hear of the case, it comes on the news, and then the news cycle moves on. We don't hear anything, we don't know anything. Not enough is being said. Now, what are the reasons behind men murdering their partners? Well, sometimes they say it's jealousy. They're jealous of the way the women dress, the way they interact with others. Sometimes it's financial. Some of these men are actually murdering their partners after beating them, like regularly. So it's like an escalated domestic violence situation. But there's one trait that they all have in common. All the men in those scenarios were faced with the imminent departure of their partners, and they decided, if I, the man, cannot have you, then nobody else can have you. There is a level of pathological selfishness, a level of entitlement, and a deep-seated vein of violence which is nurtured in our society and which is in a way permitted in our society, especially by men towards women. Because as you know, in a patriarchal society, women are supposed to be seen and not heard. Anything the man says, it should go. And please don't start talking about, oh, women should choose better, women should choose better. Excuse you. Are the men wearing rapist on their foreheads? Are they wearing murderer on their foreheads? Wife beater? Psychological abuser? Narcissist? You're not, if you are wearing those labels on your forehead, then a lot of you need to get that memo because, really, our society in very many ways still feels that when a man commits a crime, ultimately it's the woman's fault. Like that Khalid Husseini quote, as surely as a compass points towards north, a man's accusing finger will always land on a woman. Because somehow The fact that her partner beats her or murders her or rapes her is always somehow the woman's fault. That is the society we live in, and that is why women are being murdered like animals. And there is not enough uproar. It is sad, it is sickening. And the worst part is, at this point, I cannot honestly say that I am waiting for some sort of word from the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, because, I mean, but what I am hoping for, and what I do believe that we can start doing, is shifting the narratives around intimate partner violence, shifting the narratives around domestic violence, and putting the blame and the accountability solely on where it's supposed to be. If a man is maltreating his wife, it is the man's fault. It has nothing to do with his wife, with his partner. If a man resorts to violence, the man is a violent man. It has nothing to do, that argument of, oh, maybe she said something, or maybe she triggered him. We are all triggered in a lot of ways. We're all harassed, we're all assaulted, insulted. But to resort to murder, to resort to violence, to pick up a cement block and pummel your partner to death, we need to shift the narrative. We need to put blame where blame is, firmly. And when we start doing that as a society, then it will be easier for us to start figuring out where exactly we are going wrong with raising our boys, that they become men like this. What exactly do we condone as a society that allows us to say, oh, she was murdered. Oh, well, maybe she was chasing him for his money and he found out. When we're able to peel back the layers of toxic upbringing, toxic traits and narratives, when we're able to do that, then we can start creating a society that is safe for women and children and men to live and thrive happily without the threat of being murdered at the whim of a man who is jealous and a man who knows that the society, no matter what he does, will find an excuse. Will find an excuse. Well, on that note, thanks so much for joining me. My name is Jayjay. This has been Coffee Break with Jayjay, a very somber coffee break, but a very needed one, if I do say so myself. Please click like and subscribe and join me for more coffee and conversations. Till next time.